Hi everybody, I'm here to talk to you today about how we can incorporate technology strategies with English language learners. The first strategy we're going to talk about is word walls. I'm sure that everybody is familiar with this. You can use a word wall as a strategy to aid in vocabulary retention, building prior knowledge, and spelling correctly. This utilizes listening, writing, reading, and speaking. This is what a word wall is. It's an alphabetical listing of words. It might have academic words or high frequency words. These can be displayed in a lot of ways on bulletin boards, clotheslines. It can be projected. They could be on pocket charts. They're used as a scaffold to provide context, such as words in the L1, illustrations, and definitions. It's important that the teacher emphasizes the word wall and its use. Why do we use word walls? So students can study the words and develop vocabulary. Students can refer to words as they translate, speak, read, and write. This is what I call Word Wall 2.0. This is a revised version that incorporates technology. The technology that we're incorporating is QR, or quick response codes. These are 2D barcodes. You've probably seen them at the grocery store or at restaurants. So how do we incorporate them? We use different color QR codes, and you can create them at qrstuff.com. With these QR codes, you can link to websites, YouTube videos, Twitters, Instagram, email addresses, plain text, and so forth. Students can use any mobile device with a camera and QR decoder app or program. They also need internet access. Very young children can use this, as you can see on the pictures here. So why do we want to incorporate these QR codes? Well, we can provide different color codes for different scaffolds. For instance, you could use the color green for an L1 pronunciation and the color yellow for L2 pronunciation. You could use the color blue for definition. You could use the color purple to link to videos. Another reason we want to incorporate this is because we have limited space in our classrooms for bulletin boards. When you use these QR codes, you can link to a lot of different resources that you wouldn't be able to put on the bulletin board. As I said, you can use these QR codes for L1 pronunciation, English pronunciation, definitions, videos, visuals, use in a sentence. You can link to activities or online games. This is an example of the instructions I would show students. So you can see that we have our words down here. I have the word chased, practice, and grabbed. For each word there are 3 QR codes. One that is green, pink, and blue. When you scan the green code, you're going to hear the word pronounced. When you hear the pink code, you're going to see a picture. When you see the blue code, you're going to read the definition. Let's go over the set of instructions I would use with a group of students. So first, the students would scan the green code to hear the word. Next, they would say the word to their partner. Next, they would scan the pink code. They would see a picture. They would talk with their partners about the picture and what they think the word means. Next, they could scan the blue code. They would read the definition out loud with their partner. They would also read the sentences out loud with their partners. And they would read the questions out loud with their partners and speak the answers to their partners. So you can see that there's a lot of innovative uses that we can use the QR codes for. This is an idea I have on how students can be assessed. Students can present the word, definition, and use in a sentence to the group. They could be assessed via anecdotal notes. They would be assessed on participation, pronunciation, definition, and use in a sentence. The second strategy I'm going to talk about is multimedia presentations. The skills that students use are that they use technology to make a product, explain a story or vocabulary. They use higher order thinking skills, and they use listening, writing, reading, and speaking. This is the original version of multimedia presentations. What is it? It's using audio, video, and software to create a product or a presentation. How do students learn how to make these? Well, the teacher models the use of technology. They introduce new media slowly. They select partners. Students practice and the teacher scaffolds. Then perhaps they complete a media project. The technology that is used with the original multimedia presentations is overhead projector, transparencies, VCR. So why would you want to use a multimedia presentation with an English language learner? Well, it has a lot of visual support, so the video and audio creates context for the language. It's highly motivated because it's an authentic task, and it activates higher order thinking. This is my revised version of multimedia presentations. This version incorporates new apps and iPads and advanced technology tools. Some of the tools include Screen Chomp app, iPads, Make Believe Comics app, the Toontastic app, and etc. Let's take a look at the Toontastic app. Toontastic is a great app. I've actually used this with my students before, and they're very motivated, they're engaged, they're talking, they're listening, and they're really enjoying the process and using those higher order skills. Let's take a look at the Make Believe Comics app.
Okay, today I will teach you how to use Make Believe Comics. This is what it looks like. The first thing you want to do is choose a background. So you click right here and you choose a background. Click it on these arrows. So let's say I'm choosing this one, clicking on it, it goes right here. Then I want to choose a character, so I can choose from many different characters by moving this one. I'm clicking on it. Oops. And then when you have it, you can do all sorts of things with the character, like scale. So you can make it smaller or bigger. Move. You can also flip it, so it will go the other way. The next thing you want to do is choose a bubble, meaning a talking balloon or thought balloon. So let's say we want to have this guy think about something. This is your balloon. And you can choose your balloon, click on move, and you will move. And then this one you want to flip it around, so it will look towards the balloon, or it will face the balloon. And that's it. Then you click on the next one. Oh, and then of course here you can write whatever you want.
I'll make the rest of this video available on our shared drive. Let's look at the panel over here. You can see there's a lot of options. So I would watch this video with my students, and I would also model the use, because this tool is, more complicated and has more options than Toontastic. But this is another tool that students are really motivated to use. So why should we use these new apps and technologies? Well, the ones that were suggested in the original version were antiquated, and students are capable of using more advanced tools and higher order skills. This is a list of some sample activities that students could use these multimedia presentations for. So let's look at some vocabulary activities. Intermediate English language learners could use Screen Chomp to record and narrate writing a word, defining words in their own words, using an original sentence, and they could share these videos with the class. Multimedia presentations could also be used as a story activity. So beginner students could use video cameras on the iPad and draw what happens first, next, and last. They could share this with a partner. Advanced learners could select 2 characters from the story, create a written script where they are retelling the story, and use the Toontastic app to record the story and share with the class. Of course, I would recommend modeling this process with students beforehand and providing a rubric. The third strategy we're going to talk about is leveled questions. When students answer leveled questions, they demonstrate understanding using oral and physical means. They often use reading, listening, speaking, and writing. This is the original version of leveled questioning. So what is it? It provides appropriate questions and tasks. So there's pre-production, which is pointing and using physical motion. Early production, 1 or 2 word responses. Speech emergence, phrases or short sentences. And for intermediate fluency, they should be using longer sentences. These are the stages of speech. Why should we use this? So that all students are actively involved in the lesson. This is my updated revision of leveled questioning. So we want to provide appropriate questions and tasks based on Access student scores. We can utilize technology so students can work independently. One technology we can incorporate is the List Selector app. You can create lists containing questions. Create a list for each language level, 1 through 6 in our case. Select lists questions that are chosen from. You can touch to generate, and random questions are presented. Something else we have already talked about is the QR codes. You can use these to provide questions for leveled readers based on different language levels. Of course, these can link to videos, text, etc. Why do we want to incorporate the technology? Well, we want to make sure that we're using the Access Can-Do descriptor charts because they're age-specific and have detailed suggestions for activities, questions that are appropriate for students at each level. These charts are very, very big, and it would be hard to really keep all the information in one spot. When we utilize technology, we can randomly generate questions or tasks based off of these can-do descriptors. So it's more efficient, and you don't need as much space. Another reason is students can work independently to develop their higher order thinking skills. And of course, students are always motivated to use technology. This is some examples I have for activities that incorporate leveled questioning. So for the technology of QR codes, this could be used with beginners, intermediates, or advanced students. The students could partner read and use the iPads and QR Reader app to access questions, tasks, and the book. They could also complete the activity and answer each question with the partner. As far as incorporating the List Selector app, this could be used with intermediate or advanced learners. Students would partner read again, and they would use the List Selector app to generate questions for their partners based on their proficiency levels. They would share answers with each other, and they would repeat this process. Thank you very much for your time.